Okay, so let's get right into it. When we talk about artificial intelligence in 2025, we're not just talking about one single story. It's actually two completely different stories being written at the exact same time, pulling us in totally opposite directions. It's this incredible story of promise and an equally powerful story of peril. I mean, just look at the contrast here. On one side, you have the potential to cure diseases, to unlock levels of productivity we've literally never seen, and maybe, just maybe, tackle something as massive as climate change. But on the other side, the very same tech is building autonomous weapons, enabling mass surveillance, and leading some very smart people to talk about a genuine existential threat. And this isn't some far-off sci-fi plot. This is the central conflict of AI right now. So the big question is, which way are we going to go? The thing is, neither future is a done deal. Both of them are being built, right now, by real people making real decisions. So that's what we're going to break down. We're going to explore this complex reality and really get a handle on AI's double-edged sword. All right, let's start with the good news, the side of the coin that has everyone so excited and is driving just unbelievable amounts of investment. Let's talk about AI as this incredible engine for progress. The boom we're seeing both economically and scientifically is just staggering. And, it really all comes down to the money. The scale of private investment in 2024 is just wild. The United States is pouring in almost $110 billion. To put that in perspective, that is nearly 12 times what China invested. This isn't just companies throwing money around. It's a huge strategic bet that AI is going to define the entire global economy for a long, long time. But here's what's really changing the game. This technology is becoming available to pretty much everyone. The cost to actually use a powerful AI model has completely cratered. I mean, what cost you $20 just 2 years ago now costs 7 cents. That is a 280 times drop. It's basically democratizing these incredibly powerful tools that used to be only for the biggest tech companies in the world. And this isn't just about making businesses more efficient. The impact on our actual lives is profound. Get this. In 2023 alone, the FDA approved 223 medical devices powered by AI. Now, compare that to 2015, when there were only 6. We're talking about tools that can spot cancer earlier than a human doctor or help design brand new medicines. This is where you really see the potential of AI to make our lives better. Okay, but for every one of those amazing headlines about progress, there's this growing unease about the human cost. So now we have to flip the coin over and look at how this AI boom is really affecting us, personally and as a society. This quote from the Pew Research Center, it just perfectly sums up the mood. Even with all the benefits we just talked about, it turns out most people are way more concerned than they are excited. There's this deep underlying worry about where all of this is actually taking us. And let's dig into that concern a little. When you ask people about something as fundamental as creative thinking, well, more than half of Americans think AI is going to make it worse. Only a tiny fraction, just 16%, think it's going to get better. There's this fear that if we start outsourcing our thinking, we might just lose the ability to create for ourselves. And that fear is just as strong when it comes to human connection. Half of Americans believe AI will actually hurt our ability to form meaningful relationships. And look at the other side. A tiny 5% think it will help. It points to this real anxiety that AI could end up pushing us further apart, not bringing us closer together. So those social fears are one thing. But the digital dangers, well, they're becoming terrifyingly real. The tech is evolving fast, and with it, the threats are growing in both the digital world and the physical one. The big leap forward here is something called Agentic AI. Okay, so we're moving past AI that just, answers your questions. These new systems can act on their own. They can make decisions and carry out complex plans, all without a human telling them what to do step by step. They're not just tools anymore. They're becoming autonomous agents. And here's exactly how that new power is being turned into a weapon. An AI agent can now, all by itself, scan a company's network for weaknesses, write custom malware that constantly changes so it can't be caught, and then launch these super sophisticated attacks. It's basically putting cybercrime on autopilot at a scale we've never seen before. And let's be clear, this is not a problem for the future. It's estimated that 40% of all cyberattacks are already being driven by AI. The era of machine versus machine cyber warfare, well, it's not on the horizon. It is here. And on top of all of that, there's this hidden environmental price tag. Training these huge AI models takes a mind-boggling amount of energy. Just to give you a sense of the scale, training a top model in 2024 released over 15 times more CO2 than an equivalent model did just 4 years ago. That is a colossal carbon footprint. So when you're faced with this reality, this incredible power on one hand and this incredible risk on the other, nations are starting to scramble. It's kicked off this global race, not just to be the best at AI, but to actually control it. One of the biggest trends we're seeing is what people are calling sovereign AI. Countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, India, they're pouring billions into building their very own AI systems from scratch. The whole idea is to make sure they're not dependent on American or Chinese tech and to guarantee that these powerful new systems reflect their own national interests and cultural values. And at the very same time, we're seeing the first real attempts to put some rules in place. The European Union's AI Act is a huge deal. It's the first law of its kind anywhere in the world that tries to regulate AI based on how much harm it could cause, outright banning some uses and putting really strict rules on anything considered high risk. So where does all this leave us? We've seen the unbelievable progress, the escalating dangers, the public's anxiety, and this new global race for control. It really all boils down to a fundamental choice. I think in the end, this is what we have to realize. AI isn't some outside force that's just happening to us. It's a mirror. It reflects back who we are. The technology is just an amplifier for our own intentions, for our greatest ambitions, like curing disease, and for our deepest fears, like conflict and control. Progress and peril, they're just two sides of the same human coin. We are living in that dual dawn right now. The technology is here. Both paths are wide open in front of us. So the question isn't really what AI is going to do anymore. The question is, what are we going to choose to do with it? That's the choice being made every single day in boardrooms, in government labs, and in the rules we decide to write for ourselves. The dual dawn is here. So which future are we going to build?